Remember, everybody, subscribe right now. Go ahead. You. Hit the button. Yeah. Okay, good. Hit the button. Come back over and over again. Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. Thank you so much for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't done it yet, hit subscribe. Come back over and over again. We have got, every day, we've got artists, authors, filmmakers, entertainers, musicians, creative minds of all kinds. I'm GW Pomichter, and we are at Pound the Grape in the Melbourne Square Mall. We're hanging with artists and authors and filmmakers and creatives all day long. We're here right now with artist and muralist Cody Monahan. Cody, thanks for coming over, man.
Pleasure.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, man.
All right, so you're just like coming from doing work.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you working on?
Right now it's an inside mural. It's kind of recreating a window.
Oh,
So like
wow.
looking on the out, and he has like a hammock and stuff out there, so.
Nice.
Yeah, if you don't have a window, paint one, right?
See? I'm on his team,
Yeah.
because you know what? It's dark inside.
Yeah.
Let a little light in, let a little color in.
Right.
Now that's your profession.
Mm-hmm.
You're a muralist.
Yeah, going on about 3 years now.
About 3 years now. How did you start as a professional artist?
It started in a contest. Well, actually, it started with a painting for my mother, and then that got entered into a contest, and then I got my first mural.
It started with a paint. It always starts with something for your mom.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so then that was the first mural, and then that just kind
That's
of snowballed
fantastic.
after that. Yeah.
That is awesome. Favorite project?
Ooh.
I know-
Probably one I just recently finished. It's a beachside.
Okay.
On beachside pond and jewelry. It's my biggest one. That's why it's my favorite.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah.
What's it of?
It's a giant turtle and a shark underwater with some coral and.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What is your favorite subject to paint? You like aquatic life? Or?
Animals or human, anything with emotion.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing to do. Anything. I'm not really still life person. I'll do stuff like that in the painting, but I prefer to paint things with emotion.
With a little bit of emotion,
Yeah.
a little bit of emotion in it. So that first one for your mom, what was it?
It was the exact same thing as the mural, which is it's like a turtles with 3 little turtles. So the big turtle was her, and then the 3 little turtles were her children.
Oh.
So that kind of just got transferred, and now it's downtown Melbourne, and
See that? Very cool. Very cool.
it's kind of special.
Is there anything special about painting murals outdoors, indoors, different mediums, different textures?
Yeah, 100%.
The materials?
different. Yeah, well, the materials is similar. Use a little bit better paint for outside just because of weather, UV stuff, but biggest difference is climate.
Yeah.
Big factor.
It's
Just
good.
painting.
You gotta last.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm out there sometimes with hats, just fully, draped in. I got a towel on just because the sun is
I was
serious.
gonna say, when you're doing it, especially like you said, the big mural on like the building murals and things like that, you're out there days.
Right.
In
weeks.
Weeks.
And then on top of that, it's in bigger projects you got the lift involved and there's more tools, but it makes it more fun. Really.
When you're painting on that scale, is it more difficult when because you're only seeing? I mean, you're literally seeing what we would consider out in the digital world. They're thinking you're seeing a pixel.
Right.
This is where you live.
Right.
And you're working on this huge piece.
Right.
So is it different than when you're painting?
Yeah, the key is to focus on one thing at a time. Yeah, I mean, because it is so different. And you have like this giant image, and then, because I'll use my phone as a reference, so you got to transfer that, but if you focus on the whole thing, it's just too overwhelming. So
yeah,
to
when you're looking at
you're
looking at your phone, your reference picture, right? And there you are. You're at the chin.
Right.
And is there a way that you conditioned yourself to scale yourself so that things fit? I mean, obviously, for you, it's kind of like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Because you're over here. You're doing the turtle shell, but it's got to be proportionate to your coral or whatever that's going to be over there.
Right.
So you're putting a puzzle together.
Well, part of it's doing it, and then you step back, because that's the only way. Because if you stay too close, you just kind of get lost.
Yeah.
And then you lose where you are. So it's about breaking it up and moving away, taking some time. If you try to rush it, then mistakes happen.
Yeah.
So it's a feeling.
What drew you to art?
It's kind of in my blood, really. From my grandfather to my mother was an art teacher.
Okay.
But I denied it for a long time. It was sports only.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna go.
Exactly. Art wasn't cool.
Wait, you did sports for a long time?
Yeah,
But, dude,
growing up. Yeah.
You and I are like 5'8".
Yeah.
That wasn't gonna work out.
Right.
Just saying. You could have been very athletic. It's just that this is what we look like, right? So, as a professional artist now, what were the toughest challenges of starting as a professional artist for you?
Probably getting people to trust you, because when you start out, you don't really have much work. So, you know, people want to see what you've done. So when you don't have that, it's just your word.
Yeah.
So it's really about
I promise I'm really good.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's about selling yourself at that point and getting people to trust you, and then after they trust you, is coming through.
What's the dream project for you for doing murals?
The dream project, it wouldn't really, it's more of an idea. It's more of, because my role models are more of like Renaissance.
Okay.
So I would like to, my dream project would be taking what they did further, making something nobody's ever seen before. Is really my goal, and it's not really a place or it could be anywhere. I don't really care about that. It's more of just
creating something new.
that something.
Do you have a favorite,
doing what they did?
Do you have a favorite subject? Favorite subject matter? You said you're inspired a lot by the Renaissance artists.
Right.
You know, they did a lot of Greco-Roman
right.
Theology and mythology as their
right.
motives,
right.
and you know they mixed it with a lot of Renaissance Christian themes in order to not get caught. Okay, do you have a favorite subject matter?
Right now, I don't. I think I'm still growing, but my subject right now would be beauty.
Nice.
That's just everything I do is based around that, and because I traveled Europe when I was 18.
Awesome.
And I realized that when you're surrounded by these massive, beautiful things, it lifts your thoughts. And it's less about, you're not really thinking about the art, you're thinking about your own life, but in a really great way. And I think that's
what an art is. It's a reflection
because I don't care.
Of that, right?
I don't really care if people think about my art. I'd rather them look at my art and then think about their lives.
Their lives.
In a great way.
Well, that's what, you know, art, whether it's visual storytelling or writing or music, art should make people think.
Right.
Art is designed to tell the human truth.
Right.
And visual art tells the truth of human beauty and what's out there. So if that's your goal, then you're
right now it is. Yeah, you know, it can grow. You know, I'm open. I don't like to close things off, but yeah.
Yep. Okay, so like when you're going to do a big mural, okay, is there a process that you sit down and do a sketch first? Do you give maybe a client an audition piece, kind of like here's what I think? Only instead of thinking this big, I'm thinking we're going to do your whole building.
Right. So I started out that way, and then I also I majored in graphic design.
Okay.
So now all my designs are done that way through computer, because if I need to change something,
it's instant.
Instant. With drawing, you get erase, maybe start over. So if they like want one thing changed, easy click of a mouse.
You know, a lot of our artists here that come down work on canvas. They work on very familiar artistic materials. Okay, you could be called upon to work on stucco, brick, rock, wood.
Anything.
Is in your planning? What's your planning for a project like? Is it dependent upon what material you're working on or where?
A little bit. Really, the only thing that goes into that is factoring in time.
Okay.
Like brick specifically, because it's so porous, whatever it is, I'll add a week. Just because of that, because it's going to take more coats, more time.
It's going to take. Is there a primer that you work on first, or is it
what?
Do you prime that wall first, or do you?
It depends on brick. Yes. If it's a light enough color on a wall, then no.
Okay.
If the color will work, because I paint in layers, so if it's a light enough color, then I just go with that. But if it's dark, then you have to. Yes.
Awesome, man. That is fantastic. You know, we like to have a little fun on the show. We talked about your art and your process and things like that. You're an artist. You see things visually, okay? So we got to tell the World Wide Web a little bit about you.
Okay.
Okay. So, as a visual artist, I'm going to make it tough for you, okay?
Okay.
What's your favorite color? See? I got really deep, didn't I? What's your favorite color? White. Describe that to someone who can't see. What is white to you? See, I told you I'd get deep.
Yeah.
I start simple.
Man,
Haha.
it's a color before colors separate.
A color before colors separate. Okay. Unity. I like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
a very
See
good
that?
way to put it.
Yeah.
White is unity, yes.
That's why I'm the writer and he's the artist.
Yeah.
All right. Where can people find your work around town? What are some of your favorite pieces? Send them over there.
So I got 3 downtown Melbourne.
Okay.
I have 1 Beachside O'Galley, which is the pawn shop. And I have probably about 4 or 5 scattered all over Beachside, but they're on personal homes.
Okay.
So some of them are visual by the street, some of them aren't.
Awesome. How can people find you online? Where can they find you at?
Cody B Monahan. That's
Cody B Monahan. Type it into a Google. You people know how to Google? I hope. If you don't, I don't know how you got here. Google him. Check down below. We're going to grab his links. We're going to put them down below in the description so you can find them. We have to wrap it up. As we do that, we're going to say thank you to our partners and friends at Space Coast Comics, Some Unique Magazine, Famous Faces and Funnies, Off the Chain Radio with author Yvonne Mason, our good friends at Brevard Film and Talent for being here with us today all day and hanging out with us all the time. Our good friends here at Pound the Grape in the Melbourne Square Mall, Josh Bauer at J Bauer Art. Go check him out at jbauerart.com. Some of these pieces behind us you could find at jbauerart.com. Buy one, because then he can help us more and we can help him more, and it's a thing. Besides, you get something nice for the wall. Remember, everybody, subscribe right now. Go ahead, you, hit the button. Yeah, okay, good. Hit the button, come back over and over again, log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next. And there we go.